It's not just an escape room. Apparently, it's an escape adventure.
Coming to City Walk, Universal Orlando Resort. All right, now I'm not exactly sure what these escape rooms are. There's something close to us. It's called Bodeborg, and it's not necessarily an escape room. It's more of you have to use your mind. It's a little bit of mind, physical, teamwork kind of rooms, and there's 20 different rooms, and each one's different, and you got to try to solve the puzzle of the room.
So you just uncovered what an escape room actually
That's what an escape room is?
That's what it is. It's uncover clues, puzzles.
Oh, so I know what an escape room is then.
Yes. The only difference between what we're used to and what you're talking about is that it's multiple rooms. This one is usually an escape room is about an hour.
For one room.
Correct.
So these new rooms coming to City Walk, Universal Orlando Resort, are two of the better themed escape rooms that I've ever seen. One is Back to the Future.
Yeah.
And the other is Jurassic Park.
Well, let's get into that. But first, I've got to say, this was something that Universal had been planning for a while. I remember when I first heard about it, I thought it was a new ride. And when I heard Back to the Future, I got really excited. And then I kind of got a little deflated when I heard that it was an actual escape room, just because I thought it was going to be, like I said, an actual ride
attraction, yeah,
that you get to ride on. So I was really happy about that. But now that it's opening soon, I'm kind of digging it, and I'm kind of getting back into that excitement of seeing something refreshing at City Walk, something to do. City Walk has a
Stop it! Damn you, Tannen!
Sorry, I had to do that.
City Walk has a lot of restaurants, but not quite, in my opinion, a lot to do. Obviously, it's there for a reason. It's there for you to get your food on and your nightlife on because the parks are right next door. But I always kind of crave something like this.
Yeah, I don't know what City Walk is for, to be honest with you. There's restaurants and you eat, and it's open till 1 or 2 a.m., and I know it's open really late, but I don't understand the draw to City Walk. How many restaurants can you go to in one night? I mean, maybe it's a place where people go to hang out after the park's closed, because Islands of Adventure in Universal Studios close pretty early.
They do close pretty early. I think that's done on purpose. I think the goal is to get you not necessarily eating in the parks, but extending your vacation and going out to City Walk and making a night of it. I mean, the music is loud all through the night. That energy is really intense, but we can kind of unlock City Walk on another time.
Yeah.
I just was saying that this was announced a while ago. They said it was going to open. The goal was fall. Kind of seems a little late. We're now in December, heading into the holiday months, but it's open. Now back to what you said earlier about it being two incredible themes that you obviously like, and I do too. But
yeah, I like it.
Other than Jurassic World being all these newer movies that came out with Chris Pratt. Obviously, there's a whole Velocicoaster, Jurassic World themed roller coaster inside Universal Parks. But what do you think about Back to the Future? Do you think the newer generation really understands and knows who that is, what it is, or do you think...
I think they are aware of it. Back to the Future, I don't know. I think if your kids are below 15, they may not be as aware of it as if they're above 15. I feel like Back to the Future is one of those movies that is so popular with parents that it's one of those movies that they probably make their kids watch, and it's relevant regardless of when you watch it. Even though it's Back to the Future, and even when he goes to the future, it's only 2015, and we're obviously well past that. It seems like anybody can appreciate that movie regardless of when you watched it for the first time.
I think people appreciate time travel, and I think that particular movie was done very well. The acting is superb. Doc Brown is very convincing. Marty McFly is amazing.
Yeah, sometimes you watch a movie from the 80s or 90s and you're like, that's from the 80s or 90s.
Yeah.
This one seems to transcend the 80s, and it moves into the 90s, and it could be made the same exact way today, and it would be a great movie.
Well, back in October of 2015, Fox said that they never imagined, quote, Back to the Future popularity 30 years on, end quote. So they said, basically they were interviewed, and they said that when they first appeared on screen, they never thought that it would speak to all these different types of generations, 50s, 80s, and we didn't think it would speak to the 21st century generation. And they said it kind of continues to amaze them. Now, that was 2015, and we're obviously
well past that.
But still, I mean, I think that the projection might be exactly what you said. Like, parents really like it. Maybe they got their teenagers to watch it or their young kids, and then they kind of watched it with each generation that goes by. So it is a popular kind of film.
We should do a video about Back to the Future, like Easter eggs or things you should watch, because it's one of those movies that you can go back and watch again and see some things that you didn't see the first time. Pick up those Easter eggs, as long as someone points them out to you.
Christopher Lloyd, who played Doc Brown, by the way, he said it's a, quote, a dream come true to be in a film that has that kind of profound impact that it's had on so many people, and for it to endure the way this film has. It's an amazing, and it's a rarity.
So he is actually going to be in this escape room as well. I'm assuming Christopher Lloyd is going to be one of the people who kind of tells you the directions,
yes,
and what you're supposed to do when you're in that escape room, which is kind of cool.
All right, let's talk about that one. So it's Back to the Future, Out of Time. That's what they're calling it. It says, Great Scott, Biff's at it again. He's stolen Doc Brown's newest time travel device to sabotage the timeline for his gain. Follow Doc's clues to find the prototype, track down Biff, and save the day before you're out of time. Sorry.
The only problem
I'm goofy.
The only problem with Back to the Future is if you watch Infinity Endgame or Avengers Endgame, the Hulk, didn't he just describe how that's not the way time travel works?
I don't want to know. I want to believe that exactly. Hey, I think I saw something on, like, are you saying that this is inaccurate?
I'm saying that Marty McFly went back in time, right?
Yeah.
And then what he did when he went back in time changed the future.
Right.
And he went back in time to that future.
Right. Well,
the Hulk said that can't happen.
Well, I don't know if I believe the Hulk, because I'm pretty sure I heard on one of the podcasts that I listened to, they said that a scientist said that this is the most accurate way to depict how time travel could happen.
All right. Well, listen. Let's figure out a time machine. We can test that theory.
I mean, I know Bruce Banner, also scientist.
Yes.
But against Neil deGrasse Tyson, I don't know.
Hold on. I think I would take if Bruce Banner and Tony Stark were real life humans. Yeah. Pretty sure I would work with them over Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Okay, but for now we have Neil deGrasse Tyson. I think I would probably go with his word.
Whatever.
But it says no escape in the past, present, or future has ever been like this. Choose from individual tickets or private group adventure. And that's something I wanted to talk to you specifically about, because you talk about on our podcast a lot that you don't love kind of going with strangers and doing things. This definitely has that. You can go in as a party of 8 privately.
Listen, if they can do it as a group and they're telling you to, just like the Scream Squad, they warned us. They said, you know what? You're going to Halloween Horror Nights, bring your Scream Squad. We didn't. We should have.
We suggest no. But you can do a private group adventure. I think that's around $300 though, but divided by 8, figure that out. But if you have 8 below 8 and you didn't want to do a private adventure, then you basically going in. So for us, if we're a family of 4 or 5, you're going in with a couple extra strangers.
Oh, I ain't doing that.
So that's I think that's the only thing that would throw me off a little bit.
I don't even want to sit in an attraction with strangers that I don't have to do anything, let alone work with people you don't know.
It's usually around 6 guests maximum. So maybe they would make an exception if you're a family of 5. That's
like, what if we get the family of us, we're 5, right?
Yeah.
What if we get 3 of the smartest people we've ever been around in our lives, and we get into that escape room, and we can't figure anything out. And we're solely disappointing them because we can't figure it out, and they know all the answers.
Oh, no, that's for sure. That
I would feel very bad about myself if I did that. So I would want to be around people that I felt comfortable with.
I don't think I could take that kind of rejection.
No, I don't think so either.
That was a quote from
Back to the Future.
I know how awkward it is just going on the train from Wizarding World, and you're going. I think I can get that. I get that, and that's just a train ride. It's a few minutes, and you don't even have to really talk to anybody. But here, if you're going with a stranger, it definitely could be a little awkward. So I wonder how they're going to kind of compile this. Obviously, if you're just 2 people, they probably would expect you to go with more. But maybe a family of 5, hey, what's one more person? And would you want to be that one odd person in the group?
No, never.
Who is that? Who would want to do that? I would want to know.
Same people who go in single rider. Weirdos.
So, all right, now going to
That was a joke, by the way.
I know, that's fine.
You're a single rider. That's why I said that.
All right. Jurassic World Escape. Find yourself in secret genetics lab and use your wits to solve a serious problem. An apex predator has broken free and is headed your way. This escape room has more teeth and claws than anything you've experienced before.
See, I think for the younger generation of folks, the Jurassic Park one's going to be more entertaining for them. I bet you it's going to be like young people flock towards Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Old nerds like us are going to Back to the Future. It's just going to be like an old nerd line.
I want to see like a mom and dad just like dragging their reluctant teenagers, like, come on, kids, to the.
Who's this Biff guy anyway? Why do we care about him?
Exactly.
Who names their kid Biff?
I honestly just want to go people watch and see if that will actually happen. I'm sure it will. But this is $49.99 per person plus tax.
Yeah, but if you do the group of 8, you got to do the group of 8 because if you get a group, although if you have 4 kids, like you paid for them anyway.
Right.
Dang.
So it's a lot.
It's a lot of people, but if it's an hour, it's a rainy day. Maybe it's a rainy day, or maybe you're leaving Universal Studios, or maybe you're in your 3rd or 4th day and you've gone to Islands of Adventure, you've gone to Universal Studios, and you're just looking for something else to do. I feel like it's pretty fun.
I don't know if it's worth it or not, but I do know that whenever we do anything for like that's fun like this, whether it be bowling in Disney Springs or anything kind of that takes up some energy while you're there, even though it's short-lived, I think the adrenaline and that feeling lasts you all day. So maybe it could be worth it. So it's like a memory that lasts, I don't know, about a lifetime, but it certainly lasts for the rest of the vacation.
Definitely something to check out, especially if you love Back to the Future like we do. There's not many themed things Back to the Future when you go to the parks.
I know.
There are quite a few Jurassic Park ones, so this is something that those Back to the Future fans get to experience that maybe you can't experience somewhere else.
True.
All right, let us know what you think. Which one are you doing? Are you team Back to the Future or are you team Jurassic Park? Put them in the comments below. If you need some help traveling to Universal, we have all the links for you below as well. And check out our other podcast, Unlocking the Magic. You can find that on iTunes or Spotify. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hit the like button. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.